FFAR may be better than CBR4, and here is why. Most people are building FFAR for playing versatile, otherwise to have better long-range performance, but I'm yet to see people build it for playing aggressive. This is CBR4. It has consistent 300 milliseconds time to kill till 21 meters and effective range of 31 meters with consistent 375 milliseconds time to kill. Using ultralight barrel, we get 20 meters of consistent to 64 milliseconds time to kill, giving us faster time to kill than CBR4 for 1 meters less range, which is inconsequential, and 35 meters of effective range with 330 milliseconds consistent time to kill, which is faster than CBR4 for 4 meters longer range. CBR4 has potential for faster time to kill within 13 meters if we can hit 2 out of 4 shots around the chest area, which is doable for skilled players but not something we will always get in a consistent manner. And FFAR has potential for faster time to kill within 8 meters, but we will need to hit 1 headshot, which will be even more inconsistent than CBR4, and the range is lower as well. So we have to decide between inconsistent potential time to kill versus consistent time to kill, which will defeat CBR4 unless CBR4 can achieve the potential time to kill. It is a gamble, but that isn't the end to it. FFAR has potential for fast time to kill after 35 meters, for which we will need to hit 1 headshot, and these gunfires are usually head glitch fights, meaning we will be able to achieve this quite frequently. But at the same time, when are we going to take such long-range gunfires using an aggressive weapon? It may help in clutch situations like playing A-long in search and destroy firing range, but these are special scenarios. The CBR4 potential is better, as with each aggressive gunfight, there is a chance we can get faster time to kill. But it is better to use guns like QQ9 and Fennec if you want faster potential time to kill, as it is easier on those weapons. But FFAR has a con. Bullet speed. It will add some delay to when our bullet will hit the enemy, thereby giving us slow time to kill. But it isn't an issue as there is no delay in close range, and we get 2 frames delay till 32 meters. Within this range is pretty much where all of the gunfights will happen, and FFAR will have similar time to kill as CBR4. Thus it won't perform worse just because it has bullet speed, and bullet speed is fine practically even in the 3 frames delay range, and time to kill will again be comparable to CBR4. So bullet speed is fast enough to not be a con on FFAR. And now is a good time to leave a like and comment something nice to help support the video. CBR4 has easy recall, which tends towards upper right as we spray more, and it is easy to beam by doing just pull down towards the left. FFAR recall is vertical initially, but tends towards upper right and then left, ending with vertical recall yet again. People consider FFAR recall to be difficult, but I don't find it to be a valid criticism, as Switchblade is considered to have pretty simple recall which even casuals and pro players are able to beam very consistently. FFAR recall is Switchblade recall, with vertical recall towards the end of the spray. And one special feature of FFAR is the initial vertical recall. If you have good aim, you can defeat enemies in these initial few bullets. Otherwise, before the recall tends towards the left, and recall can be reset by tap spraying, and we can abuse tap spraying since FFAR shoots straights in the initial few bullets, allowing us to even challenge snipers and potentially defeat them. Very helpful in BR. And recall is pretty easy to beam with some practice and of similar difficulty as Switchblade and CBR4 if you ask me. Bullet spread is an advantage on FFAR as CBR4 has worse bullet spread. Both of these guns won't have any issues when challenging close to mid-range gunfights, but CBR4 struggles when taking longer range gunfights. With the aggressive FFAR, you can charge longer ranges like Nuketown windows without much difficulty. And here's a clip where I exclusively take me to long-range gunfights. You can see that the bullet spread is struggling a bit, but since the fire rate is so fast and we shoot so many bullets in quick succession, FFAR still has decent performance as a reason. Hipfire is where FFAR sucks, and I don't recommend hipfiring at all, and CBR4 is much better in this regard. And iron sights on both of these weapons are good and usable, and red dot isn't needed, and paid skins on these weapons are equally impressive. For more analysis and best gunsplit builds, you can join our Discord server. Looking at other stats, fire rate is a major advantage on FFAR, as it is the fastest firing assault rifle in COD Mobile, which makes missing shots less punishing, and fire rate is faster than than CBR4, and CBR4 is already considered a fast-firing weapon, and FFAR has slightly lower flinch, which helps when taking long-range gunfights, as sprays are slightly more stable on it. Another major advantage is ADS movement, and right now I think FFAR has the fastest ADS movement with attachments for an assault rifle. If I'm wrong, do correct me in the comments, but FFAR reminds me of Peacekeeper when it was meta. But FFAR ADS movement isn't as fast as OG Peacekeeper, and it is similar to SMGs like Switchblade. And if you don't use ultralight barrel, then we have similar ADS movement as CBR4. But in practical games, FFAR ADS movement is definitely an advantage over CBR4, and the movement speed is faster as well, with ADS speed and sprint to fire being similar on both of these weapons. The next major advantage is reload speed. FFAR has one of the fastest reload cancel among assault rifles, and it is similar to Peacekeeper. We get 44 bullets in mag, which is enough to take on 2 to 3 people without reloading. CBR4 has more bullets in mag, and the fire rate allows us to take on 4 people without reloading. But reload speed is on slower side compared to FFAR. 44 bullets in 0.8 seconds is better than 50 bullets in 1.5 seconds, as in the same time we can get double the bullets on FFAR. But we have a problem. On FFAR we don't get sound suppression, which is an advantage on CBR4. But we can change the barrel or foregrip for sound suppression while still maintaining fast mobility. So it depends on you if you want sound suppression or not. And a disadvantage on CBR4 is the laser, as if we hardscope, the green laser light will reveal our position, which will not happen on FFAR. But I don't think this is a big deal. There are pros and cons to both sides, but before I give my conclusion, let's get the facts straight. FFAR has better effective range with faster consistent time to kill in 20 meters and equivalent time to kill till 35 meters, and this is considering bullet speed. But FFAR has potential for faster time to kill in 13 meters. FFAR can defeat CBR4 at mid to long range, while CBR4 can potentially defeat FFAR in close range. Of course, your aim will also matter. If we cannot hit our shots, then either of these weapons will perform better than other. But from stats perspective, FFAR has the advantage, as it will perform more consistently, and for casuals this is important, as we may not be able to get the potential time to kill consistently. Recoil on both is pretty comparable and kind of similar in terms of practical performance. CBR4 will perform better for most, as we are used to using CBR4 for 2 years now, and it hasn't even been 2 weeks since FFAR got released. So comparing 2 years of experience to less than 2 weeks will of course make CBR4 look good. But recoil control is subjective as well. For example, China players like using Fennec, which is difficult to control compared to Switchblade, but both guns are pretty equivalent in performance. Why we cannot say FFAR is bad just because we are unable to control recoil on it, as for someone else they are beaming with it, and recoil is something which can be learned and mastered. So as we use FFAR more, we will start performing better with it over time, and recoil is similar to Switchblade, so with some practice we will start beaming with it like we do for CBR4. Bullet spread is an advantage on FFAR, but hipfire spread is an advantage on CBR4, and iron sight experience on both is good, and bait skins are impressive on both as well, and other stats from ADS movement, reload speed, etc. goes in favor of FFAR. Why CBR4 versus FFAR? If you ask me, FFAR is the better gun, but they are comparable weapons and have pretty equal performance in-game, so we can use them interchangeably. People consider FFAR to be bad, but if it is similar to the #1 best gun in COD Mobile, how is it bad? I'm having tons of fun using FFAR and will definitely use it over CBR4. And with FFAR, I can play close range to long range with the same build, which is a huge advantage for my playstyle. As with CBR4, I cannot play passive. I have to constantly be moving around and try to take close to mid-range gunfights as much as possible. And for my aggressive build, I use Task Force Barrel, which improves the range and bullet speed, giving us better ranges and time to kill, and also improves the bullet spread indirectly, making FFAR perform better than CBR4. We do lose out on ADS movement, but it is similar to CBR4, so no issues there. But do I see FFAR being used as much as CBR4? Nah. The average skill level of COD Mobile isn't very high, while easier guns like PP-19 Bison, LK-24, CBR4, etc. will get preferred over tougher guns like Fennec, FFAR, M13, etc. Why I don't see FFAR being popular, but it doesn't take away from the fact that FFAR is a really good weapon to use. I can see FFAR being used in regions like China and Japan, as anyone who is used to using Fennec won't think FFAR to be a challenging weapon, but CBR4 will continue to reign supreme. But I find LK-24 to be better, and watch next why LK-24 is the #1 best assault rifle in COD Mobile. I will see you soon. Bye.